This book gives a graphic picture, a vivid illustration of what the church ought to look like. So many places you go in our brotherhood, the Church of Christ don't look nothing like the picture in the Bible. Let's be clear. There's one church. Don't get it twisted. There's one Lord, one faith, one baptism. Amen. But the church ought to look like what we read in the Bible. Amen. Too many of our members don't look like the saints in the Bible. Too many of us come to church like we're off to see the wizard. Oh, I wish I had a church in here today. I'm about to drive down the street now, so put on your seatbelt. Too many of us come to church like we're off to see the wizard. Brother and sister Scarecrow. Come to church with no brain. I wish I had a church here. Help the Holy Ghost. Slow down now. We got brother and sister Scarecrow. Come to church with no brain. Leave your intelligentsia and your intellect at the door. Everything makes sense to you until you get to church. You're highly educated professional. In every walk of life, you make cosmic decisions. But when you come to church, you act like you can't get 2 plus 2 is 4. Quit being brother and sister Scarecrow coming to church with no brain. Like you off to see the wizard. Well, I didn't get you there. Some of us are brother and sister's tin man. If I only had a heart. I wish I had a church here. No compassion for nobody. No concern about nobody but yourself. Me, myself, and I. You pray and even pray, Lord, bless me, Billy Joe, and no more. Brother and sister, tin man, no heart. The church in the Bible, people had brains. The church in the Bible, people had a heart and were compassionate one for another. And notice it wasn't always the church that did it. It was members of the church. If you're a child of God, don't be like the Scarecrow or the tin man. Well, I didn't get you then. Well, some of you brother and sister lying. No courage. No conviction. You won't draw a line in the sand. At some point in life, there ought to be some barriers where some stuff you won't do. There ought to be some lines you won't cross. Look how quiet y'all got. You see, if you don't have any boundaries or any conviction, if you don't draw some lines in the sand, if you don't have some character and some integrity, if you won't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Well, I didn't get you with the tin man. I didn't get you with the lion. I didn't get you with the Scarecrow. Some of y'all just like Dorothy. You just got here and you're ready to go home. It don't matter how good song service is. It don't matter how good the word is. You ain't got time. You watching your watch. You want to put a clock on the preacher, but you didn't put a clock on Luther. You didn't put a clock on Dr. Dre. You didn't put a clock on the concert, the movie, the restaurant. You didn't put a clock on the football game. You didn't put a clock on your date last night. You probably got quiet on me. You get there early and you stay late, but you come to church late and want to leave early. But oh, I love Jesus. That is not the picture that I find of the Christian in the Bible. Before I take it back, I add more to it. Always in a hurry. How be singing all them songs? It's already 12:30. You ain't halfway done with your lesson. Where you got to go? Where you go? You ain't. It's Sunday. Football season over. Like that matters. And get on my nerve. You ain't in a hurry. You'll even stay around an hour and talk. So you ain't got to go nowhere. Get out of my face, sister. You ain't left no pot on. You ain't left no pot. There ain't no pots left on no more. And if you do cook when you get home, it's bing. Ain't no cooking. So where you going? What's your hurry? I read what John the Revelator said in the book of Revelation while confined on that tiny windswept island in the midst of the Aegean Sea. John said, I was in the spirit